Hey, the Thabreakmasta here. That's gonna be my Arcana Famiglia episode 3 review. Yeah, pretty good episode, but I will say this, but you know what? I'm not gonna say it yet. I'm gonna give my last opinions at the end of this video, but yeah, it's a good episode nonetheless. They have to entertain the kids, which is nice to see that they're very kid friendly. These adults here today. So basically they had to do this. It's like an event. Basically, it's called a Picasso Italia or for Picasso or something like that. I can't exactly remember the name. But nonetheless, supposed to entertain the kids in the in Regalo, I think it's called the place they live in. But they're basically supposed to entertain them, do what they gotta do. So basically, the people that are there are Liberta, Felicita, Debito, Luca, and Pace. So they're all there, and they're all trying to entertain. Luca does a hat trick, literally. He takes a dove out of his hat, or makes a dove come out of his hat. He's like, "Here's a dove," and a dove comes out, and like, oh, that's supposed to be the trick. And only person I was really entertained by that was Liberta. Liberta's like, yeah, ooh, that was good, and looks around like, hey. So yeah, that was like weird. But then Debito was like, get out the way, get out the way. I really like Debito in the show. I like this guy. I don't know, maybe it's because of eye patch or I don't know. I like Debito though. Debito's cool. But basically, he ends up making this whole scary story. Now we don't know if it's true or not. But this guy basically what he says is that there's this kid. And he was sick, and he not sick, but he needed help, and he went to this church that they're in, because they go into church and they're talking about this stuff. So they're in this church, right? And this kid needed help, and so he ends up running to this guy, and this guy is not a normal dude. He's a demon, basically, but the kid didn't know he was a demon at the time. And so what the demon did was cut his soul into two. One of his, like, half of his soul is his slave, basically, and he turned into this demon. The other half haunts the church, basically, at that time. And he still haunts the church until this day. And he's like, it's right there, actually. And then he makes his bird flies in, or his owl. He's like, and stuff. And the kid's like, ah! But apparently, he just, I'm not sure if it was, like I said, I don't know if it was a joke or it could be real. Who really knows? And so, as that was all happening and everything, that was just like, they ended up getting out of the whole scary story because freaking, like, the little kids started crying and crap. It was all, like, it's too much for them. It's too much for them. And so, basically, they ended up going outside and they ended up playing, I guess, like, their form of soccer. I can't exactly remember what the name was for it, but they were playing, like, soccer, kind of, basically. And so then, freaking Pace, for some reason, he was all serious about it. He was all going in there, all hard on the kid, like, I'm dodging, sucker. And so ends up having to face freaking Debito. He's like, what you make? Like, Debito's like, calm down, man. Why you being so serious when they're facing some kid? He's like, you don't understand. And he ends up freaking getting past him and stuff. And so then he ends up kicking it super hard because, I mean, he has strength. As you know, Pace has strength. And so Luca over there is just messing with Milady or Felicita and stuff, getting her some tea and everything. And he ends up getting hit in the head with the ball because he was even part of the game. He got hit in the head with the ball, and he's like, "What the hell's wrong with you? Why did you do that? What's wrong with you, man?" Yeah. But apparently, you also get to see a little bit of like backstory between Luca, Debito, and Pace. Apparently, they grew up together and stuff like that. So it was nice to see. And Debito, he looks adorable as a kid. They all look pretty adorable as a kid. So I'm just like, it's interesting to get a little development for the characters. I was hoping they get some development for them too, because I'm like, you can't just keep giving Liberta, Felicita, and Nova all the credit and all this development. And so as that's all going on, everyone was having fun. They ended up it started raining basically, and it was like thunderstorming like crazy. And so he had to get all the kids out of there and everything. And so Debito, Luca, and Pace ended up having to go get most of the kids, and they're taking them home and everything. And there's like 2 kids left that Felicita and Liberta had to look over. Look out and stuff. So they're just watching those kids until then. And so then we end up going over to Nova. And this is where it's very interesting too. I'm curious what happened to him. Apparently he doesn't like this, the Picasso thingy, whatever, where he has to go with kids because he's not good with kids. He don't know what to do with the kids. But he is worried about them because it's raining and you're not sure if he's going to get home and stuff. He's worried about the kids. But that's when Mama comes in, big Mama in this freaking show here. She ends up coming in, ends up talking to him and basically like, you can't harbor your feelings like this, and just if you care about him, you worry about him, go look at him. And I'm sorry for what I've done to you, basically taking your childhood away. And I'm like, what do you mean by that? What did you do exactly that makes it like there's a reason why he's like this then, why he's like so like has this armor and he don't really try to show emotion, and he's like this kind of like jerkish character. So it shows there's something like that went wrong. Which is good. Then we see why his personality's like this. And so I wonder what they did to him, Daddy and Mama, what they did to Nova exactly. Why did they? What do you mean take his childhood away? Like what exactly happened? That's what I'm wondering about throughout this episode at this point. And so then he ends up getting the courage to actually go over there and go see if the kids are okay. He ends up running in there And like I said, the last few kids, debito ended up getting and taking them home. And so then they're just looking around to see Liberta and Felicita were looking around to see if there's any more kids around. They didn't find anyone, so they're about to go. Then Nova runs in there and he's like, are the kids okay? What's going on? And stuff. And they're like, yeah, the kids are okay, man. And you're like, they're already gone. Like, we're just looking around now to see if there's any kids left. And he's like, oh, so you guys gonna leave? He's like, yeah, we're gonna leave. There's nothing else. Like, then who's that over there? And there's a kid over there standing there, like, just all like he's I don't know what's up with this dude too. We've seen him before, and he just stands like he was like in the shadows, just standing there, like some. I'm always like, what the heck is this? And so basically, his name is Elmo. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I laughed at that because I'm like, Elmo. Oh, let's do somebody to do. But yeah, his name is Elmo, and I don't know what's up with this kid. He's very, very cold. He touched his head because he has some feelings. I guess he looked like he liked felicita, because he said his chest was feeling weird. He feels weird, like he don't understand what this feeling is. Like, what is this? And so he's like, wondering if you're sick. He was like really cold though for some reason. So they don't know if he is sick or not. And so Liberta's trying to get a blanket. I forgot also Liberta ends up talking about his story basically too to the last two kids that was there. Basically, he ends up explaining to himself, or explaining to them that it's actually a real story. Apparently, is that Dante was in trouble. This big old boxing was about to hit him in the head, and then for apparently Liberta activated his power at that time, but he doesn't understand what exactly happened at that time afterwards because he can't remember, and his head is like messing with him. It's weird. So that's other development we see for him too. So we see a lot of development in this episode, which is why I said this is a good episode. So yeah, he gets a blanket for him, but the kid's like, I'm gonna go home now. And freaking Felicita didn't even know he left. He's like, what the? Where'd he go? And he's over there by the door. He's like, I'm gonna go now. I'm gonna leave. And so as he was trying to walk away and stuff, and Nova's like, wait, and stuff, where are you going? You don't need to be going anywhere. Like, and then Berta's like, yeah, you don't need to be leaving like this. And so as that's all happening, he ends up like, no, don't worry about it. You don't have to assist me. I'm gonna go home by myself. And so he goes out there, door closes, and then they try to open it back up. Like right then, like almost a second off of that. Right when the door closed, they open it, and then bam, he's gone. And they're like, creepy. And apparently Liberta's like, you wouldn't think that this kid is the ghost of what debito was talking about, right? I'm just like, it was creepy. I was like, alrighty then. And so basically that was about the end of the episode there. You know, it was just like I said, a lot of development was going on with that. And at the end of the episode, we ended up seeing like this little gag thing. They always do this for some reason. They have to punish someone each episode. And so debito was one that got punished because he actually said some foul language around the kids, and you don't have to say that kind of stuff. He was wondering why he was like in the wrong, because he's like, I took care of the kids and stuff. Like, what's going on? But he had foul language. So basically, they made him drink this tea that makes you turn into a kind person, basically. And so he drinks a tea, and he was just like a totally different person all of a sudden. He's like, oh, how may I help you? How are you guys? Like, they're like, it was Pace and Luca. They're like, what's going on? I'm kind of creeped out by this. Like, this is weird. This is weird. And they're like, oh, why are you so weird? Like, can I help you with something? Like, you know, what's going on? You seem so tense. Let me rub your back. And so he's all going all close to him, like, no. And then all her la 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 at the end. I'm like, oh no, it was stupid. It was stupid. It's funny though. So yeah, like I said, this episode's good. The development was great for the show and everything like that. But I was just surprised that I thought they're gonna start training. You know, that's what I thought they were gonna do in this episode, because they said they needed some development for the strength and their cards. You know, they only know how to use their cards yet. Like, this show is supposed to go from, you know, that tournament stuff. They're gonna be fighting and everything. You know what I'm saying? So it's just weird that they're not trying to train or anything for this stuff. You know? So how are they gonna win exactly? This is just like life stuff that's going on right now. They're not really training their abilities. That's why I was wondering why they haven't done that yet. So I mean, I thought they were gonna probably do this within this episode, because of what they were talking about in the last episode, where you need to learn your powers too. You know what I'm saying? But they just ended up going on to this other path, which I didn't hate at all, because like I said, a lot of development for each of the characters in the show. It's just I was thinking they would fight, you know, or learn how to use their abilities. That's all I'm saying. So hopefully you might see some more like development for the characters, and maybe you see some of their abilities grow as the show goes on. So like I said, this is a really good episode though, really funny stuff. Really enjoyed it. What are your guys' thoughts on this episode here today? Leave a comment below and tell me what you think of it. Like this review, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Arcana Famiglia reviews. So yeah, it's been Thabreakmasta. Until then, break out.